Yep. Good evening and welcome to the Glens Falls Common Council meeting. It's Tuesday, December 27th at 7:30 for our regular session. We'll open up to the Pledge of Allegiance, and tonight we'll have Second Ward Councilman Mr. Landry lead us off.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now we'll open the Common Council meeting up for public comments. If anybody'd like to address the Common Council, please come forward and tell us your name and address, please. Seeing nobody, do we have anybody online, Peter, like to speak up? All right. Committee reports. Councilman Clark is not here with us. He's on vacation and out of town. And then Councilwoman Gooden was not feeling well tonight and wanted to keep everyone safe, so she's not here as well. So we'll start off committee reports. Councilman Donahue.
Well, we did have a sustainability meeting on 12/20. Myself, obviously as chair, Jeff Flagg was there, and Jeremy Schmeigel, city engineer. We definitely thought that DPW is out for solar panels along with the Civic Center due to warranty on the membrane at the Civic Center, and may not take place if we put the panels on it. So we're back to square one. Jeff mentioned there was an 8-acre lot and in West Glens Falls that was a former landfill. We're not talking about the western one, which is a dome one. We're talking about the eastern one, according to the state. The state owns the property. And what we're trying to do is see if we can either purchase a property or they allow us to put the solar panels on that property. It's approximately 8 acres. So that's what we're dealing with right now. I haven't gotten in touch with the superintendent down at the water department. I can't think of his last name now. Wastewater.
Bill Norton. Yeah.
So once I'm guaranteed that they've done that connection with the Ames Goldsmith on up and down and go down until that's done.
Gotcha. Yep.
Dangerous road.
Gotcha.
So that's where we are right now.
Is the landfill out of the question now?
That's got to be passed by the DEC. They've got to authorize that it's okay to do it. And who knows how long that's going to take.
Okay, but it is still something we're considering if the DEC says
if
yes?
they say we have the okay.
Okay.
But so right now that's where we are.
Good.
And that the east one is 8 acres and it can produce more kilowatt capacity than the dome.
Great.
So landfill.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. And do you know if Jeff has formally asked the DEC to consider, because that was the original main site that they were examining? Do you know?
He's been dealing with NIPA a lot. I understand that. Maybe they're taking the ball for them and running with the DEC and see if they can come up with some type of agreement. So.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Councilman Landry, committee reports, please. That's all right. Sure. You might want to speak up.
They're not
You
working
do-
very well, sorry.
Join the-
We're having a day.
The Labor and Personnel Committee recently conducted interviews for the opening position of Assistant City Court Judge. And we selected Jacqueline Polis White, who's sitting here in the audience tonight, who I think would be a great fit for it. And we'll have a resolution this evening to approve that appointment.
Thank you. Councilwoman Palmer, committee report.
The Building and Codes Committee met last Monday. We are still finalizing our fee structure that we hope to have on the agenda for the first meeting in January. We're also talking about rolling out our new process for inspections of some spent a lot of time trying to get the county to contract with Granicus last year, and they eventually did, but now I've been told that they canceled that contract, so,
Okay.
we've kind of worked with Queensberry to try to ask them to do that, and now I think Queensberry is contracting with them on their own, so we're gonna be exploring options, so that's where we are with that. That's it.
Thank you. Councilman Lappin, committee report.
With Mary out, there was a special projects meeting on December 20th, and we looked at parking for overnight on-street parking, and Mary's going to follow up with kind of like a proposal to everybody in their wards, trying to look for a street that might make sense as a pilot program. We're going to run that past DPW too to get some input from them. Also, we need to update the exceptions in the code that we've made for Lawrence Street, Ridge Street.
The only one through is for, I think it's 135 Ridge.
Yeah,
That's the original, and that's the only one that's
yeah.
gone through.
But we need to have it in the code.
Yeah,
That was one of the things that we added.
53 owners got kicked out, so.
Okay.
And we also need to update the code for one-way streets. There's a few of them that we're missing, so I sent something around on that and haven't heard anything back yet. So we'll be introducing. Oh, that was the one where I wanted to make sure that our code was up to date from Department of State before I went going, because that was a chapter that we just changed for the taxi cab law. So I didn't want to omit things because I'm grabbing something before it's been passed by or acknowledged by the Department of State first. Also, we've got a couple of meetings next week. The Technology Committee will be meeting on Wednesday the 4th at 11 a.m. and the Climate Smart Community Task Force will be meeting Wednesday the 4th at 7 p.m.
Great. Okay, that's committee reports. Under voice vote is just the one resolution. So it's a resolution to approve the minutes of the December 13th, 2022 meeting of the Common Council. Do we have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Under roll call vote, are there any items the council would like to pull for discussion? I just want to pull the resolution to approve the part-time city judge appointment, just because the language isn't as clear as I'd like to make it. I'll do it separately to clarify the language. It's a little confusing with the expired term, and I can explain it before we vote on it, okay? So 2 is a resolution to schedule a public hearing to be held on January 10th, 2023 at 7:25 p.m. prior to the regularly scheduled Common Council meeting to discuss a proposed Restore New York Round 7 grant application on behalf of M. Fridella LLC for property located at 178 Maple Street. 3 is a resolution that the Common Council authorize the repurpose of a property located at 34 Garfield Street, the repurchase of property located at 34 Garfield Street, Glens, New York, by the estate of Gal A. Varney, as all outstanding taxes and legal fees have been paid in full to the city of Glens Falls. 4 is a resolution authorizing controller to decrease A 11990-9000 contingency in the amount of $2,496 and increase A 23120-4479 other contracted services by $2,940 and $2,496 to pay for software migration to the PD computer server by TriTech Software as part of the police server upgrade. 5 is a resolution to approve the City of Glens Falls Community Development manual payments in the amount of $11,023.25. 6 is a resolution to approve CDBG emergency application 2022 CDE01 in the amount of $2,100 for rehabilitation of real property in the city of Glens Falls. 7, we're pulling. 8 is a resolution that the Common Council hereby approves the 2023 tax warrant and the controller to collect city, county, and library taxes and business improvement district charges. In addition to this being the resolution to approve the tax warrant, it is also to authorize the city clerk to make legal notice thereof. 9 is a resolution to the Common Council authorizes the approval of the work required to finalize the remedial design and construction for the closure at the Luzerne Road landfill. The extension of DEC grant contract C01708GG-335,050,000 and the execution of technical service orders with CT Mail to complete the work, and also resolves that the amount of $12,200 be paid out of the general fund and submitted to DEC for reimbursement. 11 is a resolution to approve the Drinking Water Source Protection Plan, latest revision for 2022, and authorize the Water and Sewer Board to expand and act upon the recommendations contained therein, changing and adjusting where they see fit. The DSWPP can be downloaded, it was in your packets, but it can also be downloaded for review at Chase and Share file listed in the attachment. Resolution to increase general revenue fund line A00999-4089, general government aid ARPA by $20,000, increase the budget line A34012-4487, other expert professional services by $20,000 to maintain the use of Labella CC contracted services to support the Building Codes Department through the end of the year 2022. 12 is a resolution to retroactively approve an encroachment permit initially approved by Mayor Collins on December 19th for Nations Roof 420 Frontage Road, West Haven, Connecticut, to block off Lapham Place from traffic on December 19th for the placement of a lift to load roofing materials for 221 Glen Street, Glens Falls, in accordance with the usual city stipulations. 13 is a resolution to approve the warrant. Do we have a motion for roll call vote?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman Landry?
Yes.
Councilman Martin?
Yes.
And Councilman Rapple?
Yes.
Great. And thank you. Now, the last resolution is again a resolution to approve the appointment of Jacqueline Poliswoy to the part-time city judge. Her appointment will fulfill the unexpired, it won't fulfill the unexpired term of Nikki Mareschi. So in 2021, Judge Mareschi ran for her second term, which is a 6-year term. But then later in 2022, during her first year of her term, she took a position out of state and had to resign. So, but it was too late to hold an election. So what we're doing here is approving the appointment of Jackie Polis-White for the year of 2023. And during this year, in November, there will be an election and for the filling of that 6-year term starting in 2024. Just wanted to make it clear. It was certainly unclear here, and some of that was due to my own. I did not remember exactly when the reappointment of Nikki in her last election was, so I wanted to make it all clear to you. So I want to thank you for everything. And do we have a motion to roll call? We have a motion for a roll call vote on number 7.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
So roll call vote, please.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman Landry?
Yes.
Councilwoman Connor?
Yes.
And Councilman Rapple?
Yes.
Thank you all. Under old business, Councilman Donahue, any old business?
Not at this time.
Councilman Landry, old business.
No old business.
Councilwoman Palmer, any old business?
Yes, I wanted to, I don't know if everyone had heard, but we had been waiting for the county to vote on the ARPA funds, and they did vote to award us the ARPA funds for our recreation. Last time, the committee had voted, but we were waiting for the full board, so that's exciting.
Yes.
Also, I attended Carrie Warner's swearing-in ceremony. It was very nice because Kate Hogan, Justice Hogan, was the one who administered the oath. And Carrie Warner talked about how happy she is to be representing Hometown USA now because it's newly added to her district. So it was an exciting event, and I'm looking forward to working with her.
Fantastic, thank you. Any other old business, Councilman Lapham?
There was an article in the Chronicle on road safety, and we've had a long-running conversation about complete streets. The interesting thing in the article is that they were talking about road safety, but none of the people who were talking were talking about pedestrian safety or bicycle safety. They're just talking about traffic accidents between cars, despite the fact that we've had many fatalities this past year with bicycles, with pedestrians at the Americade event, and with the lady who was walking during the snowstorm last January. So I just, and having seen that article, just see that it's more necessary to kind of get the message out that about safety for pedestrians and cyclists, and that we really need to be safe on our streets.
Okay, thank you. New business, Councilman Donahue.
Yes, I'd like to say that I was reading the Post-Star, and I found a little article about the Warren County Board of Ethics, and they have appointed third ward councilwoman Diana Palmer as an alternate on the Board of Ethics.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is the third time.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you.
Not that new? Not right, this is renewal.
I guess you're trying to start it again.
Yes.
New business, Councilman Landry.
Again, hats off to the city DPW for the work that they did Christmas weekend with the wind and snow that we had. We were right on top of the streets and roads with keeping our main thoroughfares clean and salted, especially our downtown, who is experiencing one of the best Christmas holidays they've had in a number of years, so hats off to them. I always remind people to shovel their walks and shovel out their fire hydrants, but that's not necessary because of the increasingly warm weather we're having. However, in a discussion I had with the fire chief just recently, he would like us to remind you of the fire hazards that exist during the winter months. And we've, over the last 4 or 5 days, have had 3 or 4 house fires in this area. If your Christmas tree is dry, remove it from your home as soon as possible. Be careful with the use of portable electric heaters during cold spells, and please make sure that your smoke detectors and CO2 detectors are working. What a great holiday season we're having here in Glens Falls. Hats off to the many local organizations that reached out, raised money, and made sure that everyone, especially our children, had food to eat, gifts to better their holidays. Special thank you goes out to one of the oldest community efforts, Operation Santa Claus, and the residents who supported it, as they raised a record $105,000, which is wonderful. Looking to enjoy the ringing of the New Year, spend your New Year weekend in downtown Glens Falls. Our local hotel, our shops, many restaurants are offering weekend opportunities for everybody to enjoy. Lastly, as we come into the end of the year, I'd like to thank my colleagues on the council, our mayor, and our city attorney, who helped us accomplish many great things for our residents during 2022. From starting the South Street DRI project, including a new farmers market and a new multifaceted housing and retail development project, to a total revamp and now extremely effective building and codes department, to the start of our rebuilding of all of our community parks, improved technology inside and outside of City Hall, and the launch of the city's first dog park at Haviland's Cove. And for 2023, among other great things we hope to do, I strongly request that Mother Nature give Councilperson Diana Palmer some good old-fashioned cold weather for another great city event, Fire on Ice at Randall Pond. And wish everyone a safe and healthy, happy 2023.
Thank you, sir. That's great. New business, Councilwoman Palmer.
That was a perfect segue. I was going to say that tentatively we are looking at the month of February for Fire and Ice this year. The DJ is available, and so we just hope that the weather will cooperate, and it'll be on Friday nights, and hot chocolate and music, and I think we might even have some bake sales from from some groups. We're gonna raise money at the high school, things like that. Should be fun.
Thank you. New business, Councilman Lappin.
Nothing to report.
So, a few things I wanted to make everybody aware of. We're gonna hold a State of the City press conference on Wednesday, January 18th at noon, 12:30 actually. The week before, I'll be sure to share with all the council members, the agenda for it, but I'd like to invite you to come if you can make time, and if you can't be, at least, have you aware of everything that we're thinking of, talk a little bit about what was accomplished and some goals for, it's, Wednesday, January 18th at 12:30, here at, we'll do it on the second floor, at City Hall. Then the second one is, tentative date, asking if it's all okay with you, and ask you to send me an email, confirm that it is, January 17th, the day before, 6 p.m. is my suggestion for the first budget workshop that we talked about. Doesn't have to be then, but it's just the date that I came up with and wanted to know if that works for you guys, and we'll do it then. And if not, if you make some suggestions of a couple other dates or times, we can work on it. But that was my best thinking or best availability for my office, but wanted to run it by you. The third is just thank you, Happy New Year, everybody, and hoping you all have a safe and happy holiday and enjoy spending this week and more with your families. Let's see. That would be it for new business. That's all I have, and we'll do public comments. Is there anybody who'd like to address the public? Not seeing anybody. Peter, do we have anybody online? Thank you. And then, so I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
There.